The sudden arrival of the galaxy had been at peace for as long as anyone could remember. The major factions, each one more powerful than the last, had settled into a balance of power, with each race confident in its dominance. But in the quiet corners of the galaxy, there was a new force, one that no one saw coming. In the far reaches of space, a human warship emerged from the void. It appeared from nowhere, its dark silhouette cutting through the stars like a shadow. The crew aboard the warship, the Horizon, had been traveling through deep space for months, far from the eyes of any alien race, but that was about to change. As the ship emerged from the depths of space, it sent out a shockwave, a pulse of energy that rattled the galaxy itself. For those in the galaxy's capital, nestled in the heart of the Empire, the first sign of the Horizon's arrival was a flash of bright light, followed by the sound of the warning sirens blaring across the city. Officials scrambled, trying to make sense of the sudden disturbance. The sensors in the Empire's capital went wild, reading an unknown energy signature unlike anything they had encountered before. Alert the fleet. Now, General Vaughn, a seasoned military leader, ordered as his hands flew over the control panels. Send a message to the Council. We've got an unidentified ship moving toward us. Get everyone on high alert. Back on the Horizon, Captain Emma Hayes stood at the bridge, her eyes locked onto the viewscreen as the vast emptiness of space stretched out before her. She had been given the order to survey this uncharted stretch of space beyond the known reaches of the galaxy. But there was more to her mission than exploration. The ship's crew had been handpicked for something far more important: humanity's first step into the galaxy's greater conflict. "Captain," said Lieutenant Marcus, breaking her concentration, "we're detecting several alien fleets. In this sector, it looks like they've noticed us." Emma nodded slowly, her heart pounding. She knew this would happen. They had expected to meet resistance, but not so soon. The alien fleets were massive, their ships gliding effortlessly through space, armed with weapons far beyond anything humanity had ever built. "We're not here to fight," Emma said, her voice steady but firm. "We're here to show them that we're not afraid." As the Horizon moved forward, its engines powered by alien technology that had been carefully adapted for human use, it became clear that the galaxy would soon learn humanity's true potential. The ship, despite its sleek design and advanced features, was more than just a vessel of exploration. It was a weapon. Just as the Horizon passed through an asteroid field, a series of unidentified ships appeared on the scanners. Their design was alien sleek and menacing, their surfaces dark with sharp angles and curves. They moved with purpose, each ship forming a tight formation, creating an unbreakable wall. "This is it," Emma said, her hand gripping the armrest of her chair. "We're not turning back now. Prepare the crew." The first ship to engage them was a massive dreadnought. It launched its energy weapons without hesitation, firing at the Horizon from a distance. The blast hit the ship's shields with a deafening crack. The Horizon shuddered, but the shield held firm. The power behind the blast was impressive, but it wasn't enough. "Shields holding," reported Lieutenant Cora, her voice calm but tense. "Their weapons are strong, but we're holding steady. Our shields are holding up better than expected." "We've got the advantage," Emma said, her eyes narrowing. "But don't underestimate them. Return fire. Let's show them we can fight back." With a simple command, the Horizon's weapons powered up. The first volley hit the enemy dreadnought with pinpoint accuracy. The blast tore into its armor, creating a massive explosion that sent shock waves through the surrounding space. The alien ship rocked violently but quickly regrouped, retaliating with even more firepower. Brace for impact. Marcus shouted as another blast shook the ship. The crew braced themselves, but once again the Horizon's shields absorbed the attack, barely flickering from the force of it. Emma stood up, her expression determined. We've got them on the ropes. Keep pushing forward. Let them know humanity won't back down. The Horizon accelerated, using its superior maneuverability to move around the enemy ships. It wasn't as fast as the alien vessels, but it was more agile. The crew's ability to anticipate and react to the enemy's moves gave them a critical advantage. With each attack, the Horizon disabled another of the alien ships, causing them to retreat back into the darkness of space. We've got there. Attention now, Emma said, her voice calm but confident. But we're just getting started. We've shown them we can fight. Now, let's show them who we really are. The alien fleet, now in disarray, regrouped in the distance. The sight of the Horizon ship thought to be no more than a helpless explorer turning the tide of battle was enough to make the alien commanders realize that they had underestimated humanity. Emma's eyes burned with determination. She knew this was just the beginning. The Horizon was not just a ship, it was humanity's first real step into the galactic stage. The battle had proven that humanity was ready for whatever the universe threw their way. But as the alien fleet slowly retreated, Emma couldn't shake the feeling that the fight was far from over. This was only the first encounter with a galaxy that had yet to understand what humanity was capable of. Get ready, Emma said to her crew as the Horizon glided through space. This is just the start. We've made our presence known, but the real challenge is still to come. As the Horizon moved deeper into space, its weapons powered down. But the crew knew one thing for certain. Humanity had arrived, and nothing would ever be the same. Asterisk. The power awakens. The Horizon drifted silently in space, its hull battered but intact. The alien fleet had retreated, but the damage done was clear. The ship's shields had held firm, but only just. The crew had fought valiantly, showing the galaxy that humanity was not to be underestimated. But even with their first victory, Captain Emma Hayes knew that this battle had only been the beginning. The galaxy would not forget the power of the human warship, and the alien fleets would return stronger, smarter, and more determined than ever. Back on the bridge, Emma stood over the holographic display, analyzing the damage. What's the status on repairs? She asked, her voice steady but filled with concern. Most systems are functional, but the hull is heavily damaged. Lieutenant Cora replied, her eyes fixed on the console. We've still got some work to do on the outer shields, but the power systems are stable. Good, Emma said, nodding. But we need more. We need to be ready for the next wave. As the crew worked to repair the ship, Emma found herself lost in thought. What had happened in the last few hours had been nothing short of miraculous. They had barely survived the first engagement with the alien fleet. But the Horizon and its human crew had adapted, fought back, and won. But that victory was fleeting. The alien forces would regroup, and when they returned, they would not be so easily defeated. We need to understand what's powering this ship, Dr. Marcus said, walking up to Emma. He was the ship's chief engineer and one of the few people who fully understood the alien technology integrated into the Horizon. We're barely scratching the surface of what this ship can do. There's more to this vessel than we realize. Emma glanced at him. What do you mean? This ship's systems aren't just alien, they're ancient. I think there's something hidden deep inside it. A core, a center of power that's far beyond anything the galaxy's ever seen. If we can unlock it, we could turn this ship into an unstoppable force. Emma's eyes narrowed. You think we could be more than just a ship? More than just weapons? Marcus nodded slowly. This ship could give us control over space itself, Captain. It could make us the dominant force in the galaxy. But we need to unlock its full potential first. Emma considered this. She had always known the Horizon was more than just a vessel. It was a symbol, a statement. Humanity wasn't here to be weak or passive anymore. The Horizon was their weapon, their defense, and the key to their future. But now it was clear the ship could be more than they ever imagined. Let's unlock it, Emma said, her voice filled with resolve. Whatever it takes, we need to know what we're working with. Asterisk, meanwhile, in the vast depths of space, the alien fleets were regrouping. Their commanders, bruised and humiliated by their defeat, were now scrambling to understand what had just happened. They had never expected humanity's warship to be capable of so much destruction. The human ship had come from nowhere, and with one single strike, it had burned through their ranks like a firestorm. We can't let this go unanswered. Commander Zol of the Zaran Empire said, his voice full of fury. They've shown their strength. Now we show them ours. Zal had always considered the human race insignificant. They were nothing more than an experiment in the grand design of the galaxy. But after what had happened, he had begun to see the potential for disaster. If humanity was allowed to rise unchecked, the Zaran Empire had crushed countless civilizations, but now they faced an unknown force, one that had the power to change the course of the galaxy. Asterisk will need more than just firepower, Zol continued. We need to destroy their confidence. We need to take down the Horizon before it becomes too strong. The Zaran Empire wasn't the only one paying attention. Other alien factions, once allies of the Zarans, had begun to take notice of the Horizon's power. Humanity was no longer a curiosity. It was a threat. And the galaxy's old powers were not about to let that threat grow unchecked. As the alien fleet prepared for their next move, the Horizon continued to drift through the stars, its systems running at full power. Deep inside the ship, Marcus and his team worked tirelessly, trying to unlock the mysteries of the alien technology. The deeper they dug, the more they realized that the ship was alive in ways they hadn't yet understood. We're getting closer, Marcus said, his voice filled with excitement. There's something here, something beyond the ship's systems. It's calling us. The ship's hum deepened, a strange resonance vibrating through the walls. It wasn't just the ship's engines at work, it was something else. Something ancient, dormant, and now awakening. We're not just unlocking the ship's power, Marcus said softly. We're awakening it. Emma stood by his side, watching the holographic displays as they shifted and changed, revealing hidden layers of the ship's design. Whatever this is, she said, we need to be ready to use it. The Horizon's systems began to change, shifting on their own as though they were reacting to the crew's actions. The ship wasn't just responding to commands, it was adapting, growing stronger with every passing moment. Back in the alien command center, Zol watched as the intelligence reports continued to pour in. The humans were more dangerous than he had ever imagined, and the Zaran Empire wasn't the only one at risk. If humanity truly unlocked the Horizon's full potential, it would not just be a threat, it would become the galaxy's most powerful force. Zol knew what had to be done. The humans had awakened something ancient, something far beyond their understanding, and he would make sure they didn't get the chance to learn how to wield it. As the alien fleet prepared to strike the horizons, crew had no idea what awaited them. They were unlocking powers that could reshape the galaxy, but they were also drawing the attention of forces they were not yet ready to face. The stage was set for the next battle, and this time, humanity wasn't just trying to survive. They were prepared to dominate. Galactic reactions. The horizon had become a force the galaxy could no longer ignore. The once known human warship, emerging from the depths of space, was now a symbol of humanity's strength and ambition. Its power had shifted the balance of the galaxy, and as the ship continued to gain strength, the alien factions could feel the tremors of its presence. They had underestimated humanity, and now they were scrambling to deal with the consequences. In the heart of the Zaran Empire's command center, Commander Zol paced restlessly. His worst fears had been realized. The horizon was not just a fluke, it was a revolution in military power. The Zarans had fought against countless civilizations, but this was different. The humans weren't just defending themselves, they were turning the tide of the war. Worse still, the horizons. Advancements weren't just weapons. They were technology the galaxy had never seen before, far beyond anything the Zarans had developed. "Commander," said his second-in-command, Officer Tazik, "the humans are still in control of the horizon. We've tried everything we know to infiltrate their systems, but it's like the ship is evolving. Every time we think we have an advantage, it adapts and becomes stronger." Zol clenched his fists, frustration building. The Horizon's technology wasn't just responding to its crew, was learning, adapting, and improving with every new challenge. The Zarans had never faced an enemy with such rapid innovation. It was clear that humanity had tapped into something ancient, something the aliens hadn't even known existed. "The ship is alive," Tazik added cautiously, "and its creators, whoever they are, have infused it with something far more powerful than we've ever encountered." Zol's gaze hardened. "If we don't stop them now, the humans will become the galaxy's dominant force. They will eclipse us. We need to destroy the horizon, and we need to do it fast, before it becomes unstoppable." The Zarans weren't the only ones growing concerned. The Seraphim, an ancient alien race who had long stayed neutral in galactic affairs, began to monitor the horizon's movements. The Seraphim had watched as the galaxy's balance of power shifted, and now, with humanity's warship at the center of it, they feared the consequences. They had always considered humans insignificant, but the events unfolding before them were making them reconsider their stance. "Alert the Council," the Seraphim commander, Aridar, ordered. "Humanity is no longer a curiosity. We need to engage with them before they become too powerful." Across the galaxy, alliances were being tested. Some races, once neutral or allied with the Zarans, saw the rising power of humanity as a chance for change. Others, fearing that the horizon's power would upset the natural order of the galaxy, began to rally against it. In every corner of the galaxy, the appearance of the human warship was causing a ripple of uncertainty. Meanwhile, aboard the horizon, Captain Emma Hayes and her crew had begun to understand the true potential of their ship. The warship's mysterious energy core, once dormant and hidden within the ship's systems, had finally come to life. It pulsed with energy that radiated across space, and with it came an understanding. Humanity was not just surviving, it was evolving. "Captain," Dr. Marcus said, his voice filled with excitement, "the core's energy levels are off the charts. This ship is capable of so much more than we thought. We can integrate it into our weapons, shields, and even the engines. If we do this right, the Horizon will become a singular force in this galaxy. But we need to be cautious. This kind of power could draw attention we're not ready for. Emma turned to face him, her eyes reflecting a mix of determination and apprehension. The galaxy's not ready for us, she said, but we need to be prepared. We've already shown them we're capable of striking back. But now we need to prepare for the inevitable. They'll come for us, and we have to be ready. Just as Emma finished speaking, the ship's sensors beeped rapidly. On the view screen, an enormous alien fleet appeared. It was a coalition of ships, each more powerful than the last, gathered together as if to overwhelm the Horizon with sheer numbers. They're coming for us, Marcus said, staring at the fleet. But they're not just attacking. They're trying to provoke us. They want us to react. Emma's mind raced. The alien fleets were already making their move. The time for diplomacy was over. It was now a fight for survival. Humanity's warship was far more advanced than anything these fleets had encountered. But numbers and experience could still overpower the unknown. We'll do what we've always done, Emma said, her voice calm and decisive. We'll fight back. The crew prepared for battle as the Horizon powered up. Weapons, systems, hummed to life, and the ship's shields shimmered as they formed a protective barrier. Emma stood at the command station, her hand resting on the console as she watched the alien fleets approach. We won't let them take us down, Emma muttered. We'll show them the true power of humanity. The alien fleet opened fire, first sending a barrage of energy blasts at the Horizon. But the ship's shields absorbed the blasts effortlessly. The Horizon fired back, its enhanced weapons unleashing devastating beams of energy that ripped through the alien ship's shields. But the enemy wasn't backing down. They were relentless, and the Horizon's power, though vast, wasn't infinite. Emma knew this would be a battle of endurance, a test of whether humanity could hold its ground and, in time, become the true power of the galaxy. We can't let them keep pushing us back, Emma said, her eyes scanning the battlefield. We have to show them that humanity is here to stay. With that, the Horizon charged forward, its weapons blazing as the battle between humanity and the galaxy's ancient empires began in earnest. It wasn't just about survival anymore, it was about taking their place in the stars. The final strike, the battle raged on, the void of space illuminated by the flashing lights of weapons and the explosions of ships being torn apart. The alien fleet, though massive, had underestimated the power of the Horizon. Humanity's ship wasn't just a surprise force. It was a weapon capable of reshaping the galaxy itself. But as the Horizon tore through enemy ships with devastating blasts, Emma Hayes knew they couldn't keep up this pace forever. They needed to finish it. Now, Captain, the enemy fleet is regrouping. Lieutenant Marcus called from his station, his eyes wide with urgency. They're preparing for another assault. They're bringing in their reinforcements. Emma's pulse quickened as the alien ships moved into formation, positioning themselves for a full-scale, all-out attack. The time for retreat was long gone. Humanity's first victory was on the line, and Emma couldn't afford to lose it. The Horizon had already proven its worth, but the real test was yet to come. We need to hit them hard, Emma said, her voice commanding. Activate the gravity disruptors. Let's pull their ships into range and finish them off. Aye, Captain, Cora responded, immediately engaging the Horizon's gravitic weaponry. The ship's systems hummed with power as the gravity disruptors began to activate, their energy forming a massive invisible field around the enemy fleet. Suddenly, the alien ships seemed to slow, their engines struggling to break free from the intense gravitational force. "They're locked in," Cora announced. "They can't escape the gravity field. We have them." Emma felt a rush of satisfaction. The Horizon had developed gravitic weaponry beyond anything the alien fleet could comprehend. It wasn't just brute force that would win this fight, it was precision. The Horizon had become a tool of both destruction and control. "Now, fire everything we have," Emma ordered. No mercy. The Horizon's weapons roared to life, a surge of power exploding outward. Energy blasts, laser beams, and plasma. Strikes tore through the alien fleet as the gravity field held them in place, unable to escape. The sheer force of humanity's technology overwhelmed the alien ships. Tearing through their defenses one by one, explosions echoed through space. Each burst a declaration of humanity's new strength. The alien ships began to break apart, their systems collapsing under the weight of the Horizon's firepower. Yet the enemy fleet wasn't giving up. The few remaining ships, including a massive flagship that had survived the initial barrage, were still trying to fight back. "We've got one more to deal with," Marcus said, pointing to the flagship. "That ship's tough, but we can take it." Emma nodded, her grip tightening on the armrest. "Lock all weapons on the flagship. We end this now." The Horizon's weapon systems focused entirely on the flagship. The flagship was with reinforced shields and equipped with weapons that could rival any human technology. But it wasn't enough. The Horizon had the advantage of surprise, advanced technology, and the element of control. "Firing now," Lieutenant Cora said, her fingers pressing the command button. The Horizon unleashed everything it had: laser beams, plasma bursts, and its most powerful energy cannon firing a concentrated blast directly at the flagship's command center. The shot hit its target with pinpoint accuracy. The flagship's shields flickered and failed as the blast punched through the heart of the ship. The alien vessel's systems began to collapse, and within moments, the once unstoppable flagship was engulfed in a massive explosion, disintegrating into space. The remaining alien ships, witnessing their last hope evaporate in front of their eyes, broke formation. The Horizon had won. Humanity had won. The battle was over, but the war was not. As the last of the alien ships fled into deep space, Emma stood tall on the bridge, her gaze unwavering. "We did it," she said, her voice almost in disbelief. "We've shown them what we're capable of." But as the crew cheered, Emma's mind turned toward the future. The galaxy wasn't just going to forget the human warship that had burned the skies. The Horizon had proven humanity's strength, but now the true test was just beginning. The other alien empires would rebuild, and they would come back stronger. Humanity's fight for survival was far from over. "Prepare for what's next," Emma ordered, her voice calm but resolute. "This is just the beginning. We've got their attention, and now we show them we're here to stay." With that, the Horizon moved deeper into space, its crew more determined than ever to secure humanity's future in the stars. The galaxy had seen what they were capable of, and there was no turning back. Humanity was no longer a footnote in the galaxies. History, they had made their mark, and the universe would never be the same again.